It's good. It's gonna be a quick one. Try to. Um, haven't done an update in a while since the 30th of May. It's it's like almost a month now. Yeah, it's almost a month. It's like the 20th or the 19th, one of them dates. But the last, what have I been doing? What have I been doing? I came back from last week I was in Portugal. Got to see a good friend of mine get married in Portugal, and it was a part of Portugal that you don't usually go to. It's not like Lisbon or Porto. It was Tomar. It was one of like a countryside type town, and it's more for like if like it's not a tourist spot, but it was still a nice a nice area to visit. And yeah, I was there with some of my secondary school friends, even way as far back as primary school. And my good my good friend Eben, he was there too. And obviously, man, he's on his tech shit, and he was just breaking down how he's using AI to help him build his project that he's building, his pretty much a business that he's building. And man, it was just crazy how automated or most parts are, and all he has to do was sort of generate the ideas, and then the AI would go and make those changes and improvements and then self-correct. Basically, he could go to sleep and the AI will continue to work for him. But obviously there's some parameters here and there. But I was like, damn, that's crazy, man. And then I was just thinking, I've always wanted to like play around with this shit, but I've never really sort of got around to it. So then I just asked him, oh, how would I go about, doing this shit, starting it? And he was just giving me some pointers here and there. I was like, okay, cool. So then obviously I went on to ChatGPT and then formulated or started bouncing ideas saying, oh, how do I go about starting sort of like the framework or structure for creating an AI automated system for POG for my design processes. And it would just like break down how how I would go about doing it. So I did it, started doing it, started implementing bits, started building the structure. And the more I played around it, I was playing around it this week, things just start to come together slowly, bit by bit. Essentially, I'm gathering all the data or all the body of work that I've amassed over 6 years of just building building a brand. And obviously I've been documenting that process ever since I started. It may be in different forms, such as sketches, drawings, notes, and as of recent, like the uncut entries. It's like a 30-minute video entry, and then I would convert that into a transcript and then feed it into the system, and then it would start learning and picking out bits that relate to, POG, entrepreneurship, the philosophy that I'm trying to build and embed into the brand, into the lifestyle essentially. And then it starts to make, frameworks for these AI agents to, learn and pull from. And the interesting part is you can essentially automate a lot of the steps, even the positions. So you can automate the creative director, you can automate merchandising, you could automate this and that. Basically things that would usually take time. At least for me, I like to focus on the creative side, right? I like designing, I like conceptualizing and basically creating and driving towards a vision. Yeah, creative director. But then obviously certain parts can be automated, things that I do not like, things that I find, a bit mundane, that can be automated. But as of now, I'm building structure, so nothing's automated yet. It's just me feeding it all my works throughout the years, surrounding POG, surrounding my philosophy, surrounding my thought process, essentially recreating a second brain of mine. And then the interesting thing is, right, when Eben was explaining how he's using AI agents and whatnot, he was talking about how it starts to become self correcting. So then it would start delegating and creating other AI agents to then, correct certain things and sort of review and have this loop so that it goes towards the vision. And anything that veers off that vision is then corrected by, these other AI agents. And they're all basically just communicating with one another. At least that's how I understood it. But to be fair, when I started building the frameworks, I started to see, yeah, it starts to create sort of an instruction manual for each AI agent so that it knows what to do. Each of them knows what to do, and each of them have different instructions. And it also tells them how to work with one another. Basically, it's crazy. It's just all intertwined, and it just once it's automated, it will just function. But yeah, I can't wait to start automating it. The downside of this is it's very costly. Right now, I'm just using Codex via is it OpenAI ChatGPT or whatever. So I'm using my ChatGPT Plus subscription, and with that, I get about I think 250k worth of tokens. And I guess to be fair, it's not enough, man. I need more. But for now, we'll work with it. So I have everything sort of set up on Visual Studio Code, and then a AI window, which is like a like ChatGPT called Codex, but for coding. And essentially, this is like the new sort of workflow. If you're working with AI, you'd be on Visual Studio Code, and that's where you'll see everything. See your brand DNA, your renders, just your business plan, your pricing strategy. Fuck, man, just everything. Literally, like your graphics library, your archives of works. At least for me, I also have like founder journal, so that's the uncut entries. And where I house my transcripts of those 30-minute long entries, video journals. And yeah, I'm just slowly building it bit by bit, and then also implementing things that I've learned during my time in the architecture industry. So obviously, with this, there's a lot of files, a lot of, especially when I'm starting to put in graphics, PNGs, images, there's a lot of files, and then I'm trying to incorporate the naming systems that I saw during my time in the architectural industry, so that things are correctly labeled and, you know, encoded, so that you know what where it belongs, what it is, and whatnot before even like opening it. And you can tell AI to sort that out for you. Like back then, I would like do it manually, try to at least, but then now it would just set up the whole framework for it, coding, boom, boom, boom. And then I'd even made a quick app where I could drag and drop a file, and then there'll be drop down menus to select and identify what this file is, so that then it can be stored correctly within the database, within this AI system that I'm building. And obviously, those things are very important, because when you start to build a system, things need to be correctly labeled, or else things, when AI is trying to pull files here and there and it's not correctly labeled, then it'll miss it completely, you know. Because the way it works, it would scan through. It depends on how you set it up. At least on the more basic level, it would scan the name, the title, really, and then it could also start um, scraping data from it to see if you know what kind of file it is: PDF, PNG, an Adobe Illustrator file, blah blah blah, and then even start to open the file itself and identify what's inside and whatnot. But then the more deeper it goes, the more token is burnt or whatever is used up. So right now I'm trying to keep it simple so I can work with the amount of tokens that I have. Otherwise, it's gonna keep, what do you call it, running out, and then I have to fucking wait for it to reset. Like sometimes the wait is like 5 hours or even the next day, and that's just long, you know. I just wanna keep building, building, building bit by bit. But yeah, it's very interesting time. I don't know if any other brands, fashion brands, are using AI the way I am doing. Because usually fashion would be like one of those ones that are very slow to adopt technology, especially these type of things, automations and whatnot, that is fully integrated within sort of the system, the operating system of a fashion house, fashion brand. But since I'm not fully established, I can do this, you know. I could use these technologies straight off the bat because I'm interested in them. I'm interested in the technology. I'm interested in, you know, streamlining the pipeline, the process, and then being able to just focus on the things that I enjoy doing. Essentially, if you could do it right, if you can, in theory, you could build a fashion house, fashion brand. It could be a one-man army, and then you have a bunch of AI agents that work as employee, that are treated as employees. And obviously, with fashion, you still need to work with manufacturers, this and that. But in terms of like the in-house stuff, it could literally just be AI agents, you know. And then in that way, you could, in theory, be like a one-man billionaire. or millionaire, because the AI agents will do all the work. They can they can draft up the tech packs, they can help you with the designing, illustrating. Obviously, AI is only as good as what you feed it, you know? If you're giving it shit ideas, it's just gonna come out with shit outcome. So even if you have the AI tools, it's still about the person using it, you know? We're not we're not at that point, or at least available to the public, where an AI is what do you call it? It's called artificial general intelligence, where it can think for itself. We're not at that point. It still needs a user, someone who to like a conductor. Someone still needs to tell it to, oh, you need to do this, that, as like the main brain. But you can slowly start to automate things here and there, and then you're just reviewing things, inputting ideas, and correcting. But no, for me, this is quite exciting because I've always wanted, I never wanted like a, how do I explain this? I've always wanted to have a business where I work on it for a lifetime, you know? It's not something that I plan to, just sell off. Like I would like to work on it for a good period of my lifetime, where I could explore my, my creativity, concepts, this and that, and then go into other, industries, and still apply the same philosophy that I've been, building within POG, but have a small team. Like let's say it's me, and then I have a team of 5, and then under that team of 5, I have dozens and dozens of AI agents that then allow my team of 5 to then function as if we have 50 employees, So then let's say for a team of 5, you're doing you're pulling revenues of up to 50 million pounds. Whereas if you didn't have the AI agents, you'd probably only pulling 1 to 5 million with just 5 people. And I like the idea because I like having an small and intimate team, or at least for what I want, for my how I see things going with POG. That's the direction I would go for, because I would like to have a home studio, home office, and that's where I work. I'm close with my family. I don't need to travel far out just to go to work or anything. It's just everything's in house. My future employees would just, come to the home studio, would work there if needed, but I'm also cool with, them working from home, because nowadays you just need to be more flexible nowadays, man. And also, if you can have a smaller team and have the AI agents underneath, and then having the capacity to do a larger revenue, then that means you can pay your employees a good amount of money, compared to not having the AI agents and then having 50 employees. You're not going to be able to pay them, you know, a good sum each. But then if you keep it small, and then most of the workforce is done through the AI agents, obviously those can be expensive to run, but then again it's kind of offset with the amount of revenue you could be pulling in, and I think that's a win-win for my situation, for my future employees, and sort of like the lifestyle I would like. I don't think I ever see myself being like a huge company, like an Apple, like a Microsoft, like a Meta, or even like a huge fashion house, like an LV, like a Gucci, like a Ralph Lauren. I think when you get to these sort of huge corporations, ideas start to become diluted because then there's a lot more barriers you have to get through and all that bullshit for a certain idea to be executed. And for me, I value speed, and I value being able to capture the idea as raw or as true to itself as possible without it being diluted by going up the chain, and being watered down. That's just not my style, man. And I've seen it. I've witnessed this, or at least seen glimpses of this. How an idea it'll be a great idea, but then it goes to a bunch of chain of commands, and then it just gets fucking ripped apart. And then a bullshit idea is put a green light on. But yeah, I'm quite intrigued and fascinated with where this is heading. I mean, most creative people, they fucking fear AI, all of this shit. I mean, man, if you aren't able to find find a use case within your own processes, your own day-to-day, life for AI to, handle these mundane things, or even just enhance your processes, then man, shit, man, you're gonna get left behind. And you probably might need to just take another path, a career path where AI can't replace, like plumbing or fucking being a barber, electrician, those type of shit, a boxing coach, blah blah blah. And yeah, I think that's pretty much what I've been working on at the moment. And I also started working at my new part-time job at Everyman. So it's like a bougie cinema thing. And it's been chill so far. I've only had 2 shifts, but it's definitely a lot more chiller compared to Old Bar 1. And yeah, I'm still job hunting, being more open minded with what sort of job I can end up doing, even though, what do you call it? The best scenario would be, yeah, being able to work within fashion as a within the merchandising department. But if I can't get that in the meantime, then I'm open to doing other, design related or just anything creative that is hybrid, that can be work from home. And yeah, I've had shout out to Kirsten, actually. Yeah, she's copped some of, yeah, a couple, a handful of my G the Fighter, artworks from the past. And I have her as my follow. I follow her and whatnot. And it seems like she's well well connected and well updated with the things I post. So she just gave me a heads up that there's like a design, like a junior creative art worker opening, like internally within the company that she works at. And she was saying that it's like, hybrid work from home, pretty, chill, and sort of it's boring because it's just like what do you call it, like internal business. So you're just doing like, if when I read the job description, you're just doing like brand guidelines or things like that. So nothing crazy, you're not developing ideas, concepts. And I'm cool with that, I rather have like this boring and mundane 9 to 5 because I want to preserve my creative energy for POG. And I did say, yeah, I'm open to, sending my portfolio, this and that. Even though it's not merchandising, I could still grab it for the meantime, and then but still continue to apply for a merchandising role and whatnot. Because man, yeah, in this economy, I swear down, and this job market, fuck man, you take what you can, honestly. Like I was actually quite crazy to just quit all bar one with nothing lined up. Luckily, uh, my fiance's best friend hooked me up, and he was the one who hooked me up with all bar one in the first place. And now he's hooked me up with Everyman. So shout out to you, Adonis man, saving my ass. But yeah, right now, you take what you can, you run with it, and you still try and apply, and hopefully, fingers crossed, get something lands. Because I'm trying to get back to a 9 to 5, at least a more structured, just a more structured way of making money. Because right now, man, fuck, I ain't got no fucking sleeping schedule. It's just fucking left and right, and I need structure. And then having a 9 to 5 will allow me to start implementing that. Like I'm disciplined in terms of like, oh, if I need to go to the gym, I'll go to the gym. But right now I'm undisciplined with oh, I need to go to the gym in the morning, this and that. I need to wake up at this time. My sleeping schedule's fucking mushed. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Also, I've been trying to get back into creating, drawing, just being more artistic, just like for the love of it, nothing to to monetize, just to just fucking let my mind just drift, and then I'm just making art. I miss those days, and today I did a couple of sketches, abstract, sort of abstract, more abstract, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it for today for this entry. I'm out.